Hey, the holidays are over. I've been busy prepping for the next semester up at the university, so I've been working through all my courses, prepping syllabi, getting assignments ready, and getting my Brightspace. We use Brightspace for our learning management system, so I've been prepping all of my environment for the students to exist and work within up at the university. So, hey, hi there, I'm Rusty Nelson, and this is Talking Watercolor, and just kind of getting going today. I got kind of a sore back. I was out shoveling snow this morning. We had a massive winter storm roll through the Midwest over the weekend and late last night, early this morning. So we had a lot of snow to shovel. So I was busy out doing that for about an hour this morning, getting my driveway cleaned off. But been sitting at the computer otherwise, so I have a stiff back for numerous reasons. Just getting the new year started, the new semester for the YouTube channel. I think I posted I think it was on Saturday, I posted the drawing supplies video going over some of the fundamental drawing supplies and tools that you would like to possibly work with, and I'm trying to give you a range of things to work with, both graphite and charcoal, all sorts of different charcoal options, being at the sticks, the pencils, the woodless pencils. You need that little sanding board to kind of sharpen your charcoal. Those charcoal sticks and charcoal pencils, they do not sharpen worth a damn. So with a pencil sharpener, so I'm always whittling away and sharpening my charcoal pencils that way. I do like the charcoal pencils. They're a familiar form for, you're used to working with pencils and things like that. So it's nice to have a charcoal in that pencil format. But even the little compressed sticks, be it the rounds or the little squares, the little rectangles, they're good as well. The rectangles, you at least have those edges to work with too. So yeah, get yourself some good drawing supplies. I also today, this is Monday as I'm recording this, today the watercolor equipment and supplies video dropped today. So gives you a kind of an overview of the various things you can work with, pans and tube paints. You've got there is a plethora of stuff to choose from. And my philosophy on that is always to keep it as simple as possible. So I have worked with a number of types of paints and probably will be doing a review of some paints. A supplier has sent me will be sending me a pan set to evaluate and see if I like it or not. So that's coming up. But I've worked with a whole range of watercolor paints, and there are some really bad ones. I just really haven't used them. I've seen students using them in my watercolor class, and they're pretty thin, hardly any pigment to them. But any of the things I recommend, they have pretty good pigment saturation, and they loosen up, especially the pans. It's hard to work with watercolor if it doesn't loosen up when you add water to it. So the stuff I'm recommending in that video, they're valid. They're good, whether they're cheap, student grade, if they're intermediate range pigments, or if they're professional grade. And of course, the professional grade stuff is really nice to work with. But boy, it's expensive. So I think the best course of action for people who are getting started in developing skills with watercolor is to go with a lower end quality as you're developing some of your techniques and your sensitivities to the processes. That way you're not just burning a hole in your wallet as you're getting started. So and I was always amazed that those prang sets were pretty nice little sets of watercolor. So, and they're cheap, and even if you run out of a color before other colors, because I mentioned in the tutorial or in the video about make sure you can replace the pan, because you go through colors unevenly. You know, you'll use some colors more than others, and then you wind up with a pan with colors you don't really use that much. So when you have an expensive set, you want to be able to replace the pans that have been used up, either by buying new pan that you set back in, or buying some tube paints that you squirt into pans. So either way, but with those prangs, they're so damn cheap, you can just buy a new set and go after it that way. So anyway, but yeah, I definitely had some nice comments from people appreciating the fact that I do recommend economical supplies as they're getting started. Because yeah, I know I've been in classes where you drop $200-$300 on that course in, you know, one semester, and that's a chunk. So to be able to have an alternate, inexpensive alternative is nice to kind of work with. So, and I appreciate that, and I want to pass that on to you so that I get you more excited about doing it, not worrying about the cost and the expense of actually using the stuff. Because that's one of the main problems students tend to have, is that they will be very miserly with their use of the pigment if it costs too much. And that's one of the best things about watercolor, is to get it saturated and really drop that pigment into the paper, so you got some colors to work with. Otherwise, it just looks anemic, and the students can't understand why it doesn't look better. Well, it's because you squeezed out like a little little bitty dab onto your palette. You need to have a big old squirt of pigment on your palette so you can really saturate things up. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at today. I think it's going to be a little shorter version of the talking watercolor today. I didn't really see anything other than some people making comments about being appreciative that things can be done in an inexpensive manner as they're learning how. But you will, as you get better with your skills, you will want to buy and get some better supplies and stuff. So the M. Graham, the Daniel Smith, the Winsor Newton, you know, there's all sorts of really good brands of pigments out there, and I'm hoping to kind of experiment and see if there's some other ones that I like. And so far, you know, you can make about any brand work, as long as it's a good quality, whether it's student grade or professional grade, it'll work. You just have to kind of adapt to whatever the situation is with that level of pigment. So yeah, and it's good to have flexibility, and that's one thing I think if you do work with a range of stuff, be it papers and your pigments, if you work with a range of it, you're developing an ability to adapt and to be flexible and to work with anything that you might have on hand at that moment. You may not always have access to your best stuff, so being able to work with less expensive stuff and know the procedures and processes to get that to work and achieve what you want to achieve, that's a good thing. So develop those skills with a range of levels of supplies. So let's see, I was thinking, what was it? Oh, sorry, senior moment. It flittered in and out of my head, so I won't even think about it. Let's see, I don't think I have anything else. I do have upcoming a tutorial with the 4 states of watercolor. We'll kind of go over the 4 states and then also value, hue, saturation, and kind of give a primer on that. A lot of my viewers I've been seeing in my analytics are predominantly new viewers to the channel. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you for watching. And this is just going to be a refresher for you from the earlier videos I did in 2024. So like I said, this is kind of a new start of the year, and I'm viewing that as kind of the start of a semester. So you're going to hear me yakking quite a bit. Oh, which, by the way, some commenter was saying, less talk, more action. So they're tired of me yakking all the time. So I think she even made that comment on a talking watercolor, which that's the whole point of this this video is for me to yak and to talk and somehow make some kind of a coherent point for everybody who's watching. But anyway, I'll keep that in mind. More action, less talking. So anyway, that's about all I have for today. I hope you did get some value out of today's little talk and discussion. Really wasn't much. I didn't have, like I said, I've been busy with prepping for the upcoming semester up at the university, so I didn't really have a lot of time to kind of do any prep for this. This was definitely totally winging it, kind of remembering what some of the comments were. So sorry about that. I promise I'm going to be doing better. That's one of my goals this semester, is to do better videos, and I'm starting out 25 in kind of a weak status here. So all right, I will see you guys next week. Give me a like and a subscribe, and see you then.